Khabib and McGregor signed?
Sold out today, actually.
Yeah.
But the fight signed and it is a go-ahead? Because I know for the longest time they were waiting for a price.
October 6th. It sold out in 3 minutes today, and it's the highest gate ever. It's $30 million. It's higher than like GSP's card when he fought in Toronto and stuff with 55,000 people. That was like 13 million, and this is 30.
That's fun.
Bringing them dollar bills.
People.
Yeah.
Where are they fighting?
Vegas.
Good.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Okay, well, we definitely know we have that to talk about. That's good.
Khabib.
See, the nice thing is, if we do this every 2 weeks, there should be enough content to do 2 weeks worth, and roughly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And yeah, when we get into that kind of a schedule, we'll definitely have more of a rhythm of like getting into talking.
Yeah.
And, the highlights that I want to see is Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse?
Oh,
Because I missed that.
I thought Mighty Mouse won that fight, too.
I just saw the
He lost
result,
his title.
and I was floored.
Shit, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Decision?
But I have not seen any of the highlights.
Split decision. Very close.
Cejudo took him down probably 4 times throughout the fight.
Yeah.
Did no damage.
He must be pissed.
Yeah, and he outstruck him. It was
So what? Mighty Mouse just didn't do any damage to him then, or?
No, he did. He outstruck him like 144 to like.
If you look at the stats,
what happened to getting the belt? You gotta beat the champ. Like
I don't fucking know, man.
I don't know. They should have gotten GSP's.
If you look at
refs.
the fight metric, like I'm sure Cam could find it, but
he was just outstruck.
But I didn't watch it either, so
August 4th.
I don't really.
That's right.
Have an opinion.
No, I don't know. What the hell
Yeah, like obviously the big news out of this card was Garbrandt.
You think that's more important than Mighty Mouse?
I definitely saw more news of it than Mighty Mouse's loss.
Just because it was so dominant, probably too.
Yeah. Well, obviously they were able to pull a lot more highlights off of it.
Yeah, they knew exactly what Cody was gonna do that entire time.
Yeah.
Like,
And Cody is Uriah's boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Cody just comes in, his hands are low, so because he's got faster hands that way, basically, is what their game plan was. And so he throws the right hand, and his left hand is so low down. TJ just tagged him like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, there's a GIF of Garbrandt throwing the same counter. Yep. Whatever.
I'm just being a cunt.
Yeah, it's him throwing the same counter 3 times in a row, or Cody, same shot 3 times in a row, and TJ counters it 3 times in a row, rather.
Yeah.
You just sit
Same
there
shot,
like kept
three
loading up.
counters, same time,
Like
sits down on it every
time.
It went to decision last time, the first time they fought?
No.
TJ finished him in the second round.
Okay.
TKO.
Yeah. I did watch that fight, so I should have a better memory of it.
Cody had him hurt like badly in the first round, near the end of the first round.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it was looking good for him, and then TJ put him away.
Yeah.
So Mighty Mouse obviously wants a rematch on this, eh?
Yeah,
I think he should get one. But they might do
to hold the belt for that long. Yeah,
yeah,
I'd say.
I would think so. But they say that,
and that was technically the second time they fought.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember?
This is from the
Mighty Mouse finished him the first time?
Yeah, first round.
Yeah, it was quick. I remember.
Knee to the body and then follow up punches.
That's
Cejudo
right. I remember
better,
that knee now. Yeah.
How do you say his last name?
Cejudo. I mean, Cejudo is like respect to him. Like he's a fucking martial arts prodigy.
Yeah. Well, he made a lot of improvements from the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
He's now the
wrestler.
first guy to ever win gold in Olympics and UFC.
Yeah.
Like a title. So that's kind of cool.
He's decorated for sure.
But yeah, like here's a takedown or whatever from their last fight here. But really didn't do too much damage.
I mean, it was certainly a matter of time before somebody challenged Mighty Mouse. And, it's sad to see it happen, but I'm glad that it has.
You don't like
it
him?
had to happen at some point. No, not that. No, I love Mighty Mouse. I think
Just kidding.
He's a really good Twitch streamer.
I think he deserves a lot more recognition than he has.
I've never.
Definitely. Do you never watched him? No.
I don't watch anything on Twitch. I don't know.
Doesn't do it for you? You're not like that generation.
You know what?
Other than D&D.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, you watched
Really?
really
Yeah.
D&D on Twitch?
Yeah.
No shit.
But
This is
like,
how out of touch I am. Like,
yes, shit.
yeah.
that's what that Critical Role
Yeah,
show's on. We watch it on. I don't even watch it on Twitch, but it is on
I
Twitch.
thought you guys
Yeah.
watched it on like YouTube and then just listened to the
Well,
podcast.
I mean, it's
That too.
it's on all.
It's a
platforms.
Platform, yeah. One side note, since we're cutting all this, probably.
No, we're good. This is live.
Yeah,
we started talking about MMA, so we're good to go.
Oh my
Hard in
God.
the paint.
Okay. Then I'll skip it till later.
You could say
Oh,
it.
come
Yeah, whatever.
No,
Don't
go
let
ahead.
I
Dan
was
get to you.
Well, no, I was just thinking
Fucking Dan.
one other thing we should consider, along with some of like a half-ass schedule, is just like find like a metric for finding out like almost most listened to podcasts, the duration, and then fit to that.
Probably
roughly.
Rogan's.
His is fucking long.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
So 3 hours then.
Fuck that. I don't think that's the case.
I think Schaub and Callan do it correct. It's like an hour maximum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was essentially
Just-
yeah.
what I was gonna.
Put everything into it.
Well, and they have a pretty good format that they stick to. Like I've just recently started regularly listening to their stuff,
Yeah.
and like I like it. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
and
they're
it's like
both
it's
funny.
basically like half an hour of bullshitting and then current events
Yeah.
for another half an
I
hour.
like that one a lot, but I like both of them. Like,
Yeah.
I fucking
I do
love
too.
both of them. You know, like I like
Yeah.
that style, and then I like the super. Depending on who
And
he
I-
has on.
Yeah, depending on who he has on for sure.
And like I do like a 3-hour podcast. However, one, I don't think we're capable of making 3 hours of good content
Probably.
currently.
We capable of
Currently.
making 10
Yeah.
minutes.
You know,
Well, and if
Yeah.
we do start doing this on a bi-weekly basis, 6 hours of content a month.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's pretty
For
good
us,
too.
that's a
It's
lot.
true.
Because then like the off weeks, I could do like all the clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Also,
So
sorry, go ahead.
no, that's pretty much all I was gonna say.
Even
Yeah,
if we did 2 hours,
Yeah.
we could have stuff for the second week
Oh yeah, for sure.
if we wanted, or do, like you said, clips, or do a 20-minute thing, or I don't know, whatever.
Have the clips? I've noticed you've been putting them up on the YouTube channel. Have they been getting many views, many comments?
Not as much as the podcasts.
No.
Like the podcasts, they start out pretty slow, and then
They build.
yeah, they build just over time.
And once we get like a bit of a
Interesting.
consistency,
It's interesting.
it is.
So yeah, we were just watching. There was no real good Henry Cejudo versus Mighty Mouse one, but this is the
So the
well,
TJ Cody
obviously,
Yeah.
Cody.
highlights.
Gonna say some obvious stuff just for people that are listening.
Everyone who's listening is just like, "Fuck, this is such old news. Who
Yeah.
are these guys?
This is 2 weeks ago.
Amateur
Yeah, this is true.
podcasters."
Yeah, well, gotta put in some time.
I
Yeah.
was impressed like how well
We all have day
TJ can
jobs, so-
move.
Did you watch
And,
it? Did you
like,
watch it, Cam, live?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Like
TJ
his footwork, you mean?
Well, he can fight.
Or like
he can
hand
just
speed?
fight so well from everywhere.
Yeah.
Just because of his angles. Like he can fight in the pocket, but he's always moving, and his feet are always like carrying him to those spots. Like he's not like leaning too far or anything like that.
Oh
he's
yeah,
always
like he's
moving his feet.
always keeping a base under him.
Yeah.
So this is after he dropped Cody the second time.
Yeah, that's when he finished
That's
him.
when he
But
finished it.
yeah, where was it?
Wow.
He just looked way smoother than Cody.
Do you think there was a lot of pressure on Cody to win this fight, or to do?
Well, I
that was
think
the,
so.
that was it
like
right there.
above
the 3 shots.
above average pressure. You mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like last time there was so much buildup, but because he was
Yeah.
already one down, I wonder if it was any.
Yeah,
extra.
he did not have the same like mindset going into the fight. I don't think like he didn't say shit. Basically, the whole build up.
He was pretty quiet.
Yeah, he was quiet, and TJ was kind of chirping a little bit, but he wouldn't say anything back or anything. So it kind of makes you wonder.
If he's really into
I think
it.
it was, especially there was quite a bit of, like you said, quite a bit of buildup, and then while he did hurt TJ, he still got put away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what do you say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and kick your ass.
He should have though, because I mean, you're trying to sell the fight with the guy. He should have said something.
But not everyone's a showman.
Yeah, because
you know,
win or lose, it
but-
helps your purse at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he talked so much shit the first time. You know, they talked so much shit. They're
and he
gonna
fought
put,
way better too.
He fought better.
because of that.
They were gonna put clips up on of him knocking Cody down and sparring, or TJ down and
TJ.
sparring rather. I keep reversing the two. And it made it so compelling. And this one, I was almost like I wanted to watch it, of course, but
I think the first thing I thought that came to my mind after like TJ finished Cody in this fight is just how outclassed Cody was this entire fight.
like through every
He tagged TJ a couple times here, like when they were close.
Yeah. See, there it is. 3 times. Third time he gets the knockdown.
Oh man,
That's shitty.
he just beat him down.
Yeah.
And then just shoveled pork and beans in his mouth.
Yeah, and like gone every time Cody would swing, he'd miss.
See, Cody trash talked him a couple times, like a little bit.
Oh,
Point
like
to
during the
octagon
fight?
And
and
he
stuff.
watched his knee. Oh no, he gets up and then he knees him.
Wasn't Cody's thing that he was a more powerful striker than TJ?
Oh, you ate that one.
I love a good knee.
Especially like the first time round, that was what he was. Cody
he hits
was the
harder.
power.
He
Yeah.
might be,
Yeah.
but TJ is so smooth with his combinations.
Cody does have stupid power. There's no
He does.
dispute.
For that
No,
weight
but, like,
class, yeah.
There's a
I
lot
know
of
what you mean,
fighters
though.
that in the last, let's say, 5 years, and like when you were Chuck Liddell or that era of fighter, that was a big thing. You could rely on power, and like
Yeah.
that carried Dan Henderson for a long
Well,
time.
it
for
seemed
sure. But it's
like
more-
all the guys that were on top in like Liddell's era,
Yeah,
like all of them were just big knockout artists.
right. And then as in the next kind of wave or generation, or I don't know how you want to say it, but like that became less important, and you start
Yeah.
to see these really like
Mhm.
dynamic fighters.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
and
See
you
all
saw
the other skills start to.
yeah.
Well, that's just it. Like it
Come up,
became actually more MMA fighters rising to the top rather than just like guys who came in with
Yeah.
like an expertise in one category and had just started developing like a little bit of jiu-jitsu or like
Yeah.
takedown defense,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
we're basically just still
Guy
relying
that's a
on
big
their
puncher.
just relying on
but
their
can-
punching, their boxing, right?
Has good defensive wrestling.
And then you get guys like GSP who came in and they were really good at like the technical stuff and didn't have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then right after him, you got guys like Robbie Lawler and Carlos Condit who could do a
Johnny
little bit of what
Hendricks.
GSP could
Yeah.
do, but not as good. But the power they packed.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. There's
Those
different
Carlos
level.
Condit GSP and Robbie Lawler GSP. Oh my goodness. Those were for me like nail biters. Just like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The whole like
Hendricks.
GSP era, every time he fights, even the Bisping fight, everybody's
love
like,
that fucking
holy
fight.
fuck.
Yeah.
And like Dana White, obviously, he doesn't want to give GSP money fights right now, but fuck, why not? They sell.
They need to make
like-
some money. I don't know why you wouldn't
there's-
just
there's
try and.
There's still nothing confirmed for him yet, eh?
No.
No.
Well, Dana White said, I think yesterday or the day before, he's like, I'm not interested in super fights with GSP. Because GSP wants to fight Khabib or Conor, like whoever
Mhm.
wins that fight, which would be awesome. But Dana White doesn't want to.
probably
He's
because there's
just-
nothing for Dana to win. One good
Well,
purse if the
Yeah.
if
I
the
think
belt.
yeah,
that's a
'cause-
little bit of him playing his negotiation card.
I think
though.
so
For
too.
sure,
yeah.
yeah.
That's what I think.
I mean, he's got to think. He's probably only got like maybe 2 punches left on that GSP card that he keeps in his
yeah,
back pocket.
Yeah, totally.
So
Is he
he's
gonna be
gonna-
Anderson Silva?
He's got to make those count
Yeah.
They were trying to make that fight apparently like a week or two ago.
against Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
GSP is just not having it.
I don't.
would
I
love
don't
that.
think
I
The-
think Anderson said he would go down to like 182 and meet him at a catchweight even. And he's
Yeah.
like,
I would.
Fuck yeah.
That would be so
That'd be
awesome.
amazing.
I know.
it'd be a good
come
fight
on,
for the
Georges.
fans.
It'd be the legacy super fight.
That's the one, man. That's like the one that never happened, and now it's too late
Yeah.
for it to
Yeah.
be in their primes, obviously. But
still,
I would,
would still be
watch
worth
the
seeing.
fuck out of
Yeah.
that. They could promote the shit out of it.
Oh hell yeah.
fuck yeah.
Oh my
I would
god,
watch
they
that.
could use all those old Anderson Spider Silva clips. You
Well,
know,
they
the
could,
knockouts.
Yeah,
the,
they could like, like show the two sides of like when their careers were getting built in the UFC. And
Yeah, there's a good storyline there.
I mean, maybe he's saving something like that for like a big card, like a 250 or something. Because that's like we're on 226 right now.
That'll be in
230,
November.
aren't we?
No, 220.
Is that gonna be like a year from now?
I think 227 is
Yeah.
the next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably a year. Well, it's typically. I think it's gone up a little bit, but it's typically a card a month, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a bit of ways away, but I don't know.
I think you do it, man. You show him.
Dana's got a tough job.
Yeah.
I don't envy
But
it.
like the best job ever.
Oh,
too.
for sure.
The other thing is, and I may very well be talking out of my ass, if GSP could beat Khabib or Conor, he's not going to hold the title. He doesn't want
No.
it,
No,
so
he
he's
doesn't
going to
want
come in and essentially fuck up the ranking system. And like, if he beat one of them, it would just like I think
Well, look what he did to the middleweight division.
That's what I said.
Exactly,
Like, what do you? Yeah, he wins, and then what happens next?
Exactly. So he fucks up the division,
I think
and then
yeah.
he gets to walk away with a boatload of money, and then Dana's left going, "Fuck."
I
And
think
then
it's
he's,
worth it.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit.
Right, for fans,
most part.
totally worth it. For Dana, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
the the casual UFC fan probably has no idea what the rankings are at any given time.
Probably not.
No,
I
they
mean, I don't
just-
know what the fuck they are
I
anymore.
just want him to hit him.
Yeah.
Come on, hit him.
No.
I just
They
hit
just
him.
want to see big names, big fights.
Fucking idiots.
That was like anybody I talked to during the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor build up.
Oh yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck about like it whether it made sense or not. It was
Yeah.
No, that's
Floyd
right.
Mayweather, Conor McGregor. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
just it. I don't
We're
know.
in the fucking entertainment era,
Yeah,
and
just
that's just how it is.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
Tell me where to sign.
And
Like-
people. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like 5 years ago, maybe we'd be like fight snobby about it in a
Yeah.
way,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like, oh, this, for the prestige
this
of the
is
sport, right?
destroying
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
the
It's not.
caliber of our.
It's just
of our
it's
sacred
fucking awesome, and I'm
sport.
gonna watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Fuck it.
It's just awesome, you know.
For sure.
I don't care,
Do not
No,
care at
that's
all.
fair.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the one you do, man. You do Anderson Silva versus GSP, and you show all those old highlights. I mean, GSP arm bars, Matt Hughes, he TKOs Matt Serra.
And then
Yeah.
Anderson's
Dude.
triangling
Anderson's triangling
Oh,
Travis
Chael
Luter
Sonnen and Travis Luter.
KOing Rich
Yeah.
Franklin.
Mounted
and,
triangle
Yeah.
against Travis Luter.
Yeah.
Rich Franklin 2 times. You know,
Yeah,
they
like if
show.
you-
There's so many highlights they can show of these guys just dominating other dudes, and
Fuck.
you know that's still a striker versus grappler matchup. I think.
Oh, it's still it's still an interesting matchup.
If you had to place $100 bet, who would you put it on?
Oh my god, I can't bet against George after the Bisping fight because I didn't honestly think.
Yeah, like
I
I
didn't think
I
was
bet
too
on
big
I
for
bet
him.
on George.
Talking like now, obviously.
Yeah, for the
Probably
if the fight
GSP.
if the fight happened this year,
Yeah.
I'd bet on GSP.
If we're talking prime,
yeah,
Anderson
if
Silva,
it was prime against prime,
You know what? Actually, I
probably
put
go
$100
Anderson
on
Silva.
Anderson. Fuck it. He's so much bigger.
He
I'll
is.
pull
he's
up the
bigger.
numbers.
He's fought big, strong guys his whole career.
fought
so
at
there's
205.
but
Yeah.
GSP don't give a shit what you weigh.
Bisping fought at 205
Yeah,
too.
Bisping,
He's a big guy.
Bisping stopped Sonnen from taking him down, and
Yeah.
other guys too. So I think GSP's wrestling, his
I don't know.
timing is just on another
yeah.
level.
I would also wager that Bisping is not Anderson Silva.
Bisping beat
No, it's
Anderson
true. The Bisping beat
like
Anderson.
3 years ago.
I don't know.
MMA math, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
You're
but
right. You're right.
you know, I just think the guys that Anderson couldn't stop from taking him down, and if there's any comparables there,
Mhm.
you know,
The reach
there
difference.
really isn't much. There's a big reach difference.
George is like 5'5". I know he's not actually that small, but just comparatively.
I just wonder, like, what happens if Anderson comes into a fight, and we'll probably never see it, and
there was
never
one
have
of
seen
them
it. But what if he
actually
comes
said,
into
so-
a fight and he
here
decides
it
to
is.
go full wrestler? Game plan. Like
Yeah,
his
I mean,
wrestling is not bad. There was another clip I saw, and I think we watched the fight way back in the day. But when he fought Nate Marquardt and hit his switch on him in the first round, they got into a little bit of a wrestling scramble.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he got on top of Nate and he pounded him
Oh,
out
yeah.
for the TKO. But Anderson's wrestling, like, you know, he wants to strike with people, obviously.
he can still like
He's
he
no
can
joke.
scramble.
He likes
The
to stay in
scrambles
his
are good.
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
He's crafty, he's slick.
I don't know. That's two different divisions if
They
you
are-
look at the size
There's a big
comparison.
size difference, though.
Yeah.
But it's not as if Anderson, you know, GSP is the wrestler. He's got the lower center of gravity and everything like that. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah. 182 catch weight.
Fucking do it.
They should make it happen.
I
Should.
think so. I think you do that one and you just
know-
promote the fuck out of it.
But I also want to see GSP fight Khabib. What if Khabib just wrestle fucks Conor in their fight?
That'd be fun.
Now you have like the best fucking lightweight
Yeah.
wrestler, 27-0 now.
And he's huge. He can barely make lightweight.
Yeah,
He's
and
failed like 3
GSP.
times.
who's like the GOAT
Yeah.
MMA wrestler.
The OG.
Yeah, he's the OG. If he could pull that, that would be.
and
if
GSP's striking's better than Khabib's.
that,
Khabib's striking's
much
terrible.
better. Much better.
Would Khabib want that fight?
I think
He
he'd take
wants it. That's
yeah.
what he said he wants.
Yeah.
He didn't want the Conor fight. He wanted the GSP fight.
Not that anyone.
Apparently.
I think if Khabib can like stamp out Conor, like totally dominates him and puts him
then
away,
he could ask for whatever the fuck
I
he
think
wants.
if he gets that fight will be so fucking huge.
Yeah.
After he fights Conor, that fight will be
Yeah.
so huge. Either Conor's gonna be a star no matter what happens.
But like,
Khabib beats Conor, and he's a star already apparently in Russia, but he's gonna be like,
if Khabib beats Conor, though, Conor is gonna rally for a rematch.
maybe,
Yeah,
Depends
I
how it
don't
goes,
know.
obviously, but
may or may not.
depends how much.
Maybe
he can
go
sell the
back to
fight for.
boxing and fucking fight Floyd again. I don't know.
and pocket another cool
He's got
100
that.
million.
He's got that Manny Pacquiao fight still.
Oh,
Pacquiao
yeah, the
wants
Manny
to fight him. He's got
God.
Paulie Malignaggi wants to fight
Yeah,
him.
he could
Canelo
do-
wants to fight
Paulie
him.
would be a good one. Yeah, Paulie could. That would.
I
be a
think
good
he
fight.
could beat Paulie, but
Uh-huh.
Canelo and fuck, I
Do you
don't
think
know.
he'd beat
I think the other
Pacquiao?
guys would fuck him up.
I don't know, man. I'd pay to watch it.
I
You
would.
fight what weight does Triple G fight at? Is he 150
He's
something?
like 160, I think.
Oh, so
or
he's a little
something.
bigger.
Yeah.
I think Conor's just interested in having an ATM that spits out money into his face.
But you know what? Okay, no, actually, we just overlooked
That's all he-
something
all he
huge.
cares about.
If Khabib beats Conor, he's still got the trilogy fight with Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that might
true,
be where he
true.
goes next.
That's a good point.
And then call it a career. You just made another fucking $200 million
Yeah,
Yeah.
in 2 fights.
did say he wanted to retire young
Yeah.
a long time ago, but who knows?
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of shit
Well,
going on.
you know what? He's the kind of guy, he'll 2 more fights, then retire, and then 10 years from now, we'll see him back.
For
Okay,
$3.2
so-
billion.
Yeah.
And
Spe-
this might. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. No, I've cut you off like 3 times.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna pull up the like striking highlights between Khabib and Johnson,
Yeah.
who's also a southpaw, smaller than Conor, but he had a lot of success against Khabib on the feet. So it's
Does
this
he have,
might
does he have a
change your-
knockout punch?
He's knocked guys out, but he's not like Conor. Not as
Not known
precise,
for it.
not as fast.
Yeah.
Well, he might be as fast, but he's not as good, I don't think.
Looks like he likes swinging that left hand.
Yeah.
But I mean, because
Yeah, he's
everybody
powerful.
thinks,
But he knew what
Khabib's
he had
gonna-
to do in this fight.
yeah,
It was try and stop the takedown and
and that's pretty much it.
knock
But
his head off.
Right.
Conor's also
This-
the
this is
exact
what
same
happens.
size as Khabib, so Johnson's not. But
Another
I don't
thing to get. A lot of people were talking about how ridiculous the Mayweather McGregor fight was, but like, we paid $100 to see the Pacquiao fight. It wasn't fun to watch.
Yeah, and who remembers
okay.
who
Yeah, it
remembers any other
anybody
fights
thought
on
it was
those
gonna be.
cards?
no,
It's because there's like 2
Yeah.
before it, and then there was that like boxing cards. I don't know.
I'd rather so it was more entertaining to watch McGregor gas out and get knocked out or knocked down, however sure
Yeah.
that's gonna polarize a lot of people.
Getting finished.
Getting
Yeah.
finished. He got finished one way or the other.
Was better than watching 2 super pro boxers go fucking
Yeah.
12
what
Yeah.
rounds.
does that tell
Yeah.
you?
So I just think it was interesting if he does go and fight, and if he does keep switching back and forth between boxing and UFC, and making these fights that are entertaining that people will throw a metric fuck ton of money at, as opposed to Pacquiao Mayweather 2,
Yeah.
which I don't think would happen anyway. But that's not what I'm alluding to.
If I had to make like a kind of ridiculous prediction, it'd be I guess it'd depend on Conor losing the Khabib fight. But if he loses that, I think he's gonna fight Diaz. And then after that, I don't know who else he fights in the UFC. I think he's gonna be the head for like Zuffa boxing when they launch.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling, yeah.
It'd be
Is
kind of
it-
the promoter guy,
Well, no,
or just
like fighting Paulie maybe
oh,
to
I see.
launch
I
it
see
or
what you're
something like
saying,
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
To
just-
kind of kick that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Zuffa, that will be a partnership. Like that's still, would that be Dana and Lorenzo and Frank?
I think so.
So that has nothing to do with WME.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe. Well,
it's-
unless they partner up or something. But I
Right.
think it's a Zuffa.
Zuffa. Man, that legal has to be quite complicated. Like they must have some fucking lawyers
Yeah, no kidding.
Then
to
I-
figure all that shit
Yeah, I
out.
thought I remember reading an article about Ari trying to get on board with that too or something.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think it's better if he doesn't.
I don't know. Yeah. unless he just throws money at it just to
to
for
back
shits
it.
and giggles because
Yeah.
he's a billionaire.
True.
But I almost feel like Conor's going to lead that charge if Zuffa gets into the boxing game, or
Yeah.
just a prediction, I guess. But
It very well could happen. I mean, that'd be successful just instantly. Because
or do the Diaz fight in Zuffa under Zuffa boxing.
hey, there you
know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's a question: do any of you care about Diaz McGregor 3?
Yeah.
I'd watch it
I'd watch it.
for sure.
Yeah,
Who the fuck,
don't give
dude?
a fuck.
Everybody I worked with, that's all they talked about
Really?
for like 2 weeks after.
Don't give a fuck.
Really?
Not at all.
Is it because you
Find
don't
a
like
It's a trilogy,
Diaz?
though.
I don't like the Diaz brothers, so
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, Nate fighting Poirier.
Dustin Poirier, yeah,
Yeah.
he's supposed to, but
He's kind of denying it and stuff.
yeah,
right?
he's because they had that big press conference and he got all upset and walked out of it because they at the end of the press conference they just promoted the Dustin Poirier Nate Diaz fight, and then they threw on like the big announcement for Khabib and Conor, and he just got up and fucking stormed out and like threw shit around or
Good
whatever.
for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you got to be upset.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
I think
share
he's
the
just bringing
spotlight.
attention to himself too, which is good.
I think he is, yeah.
He
Like
knows how to
he's-
play the game.
Yeah.
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 I think he's realized that he's part of the biggest UFC event ever,
Fuck.
and that he should be compensated for it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that too.
Connor's fought other guys, and the pay-per-views haven't been as big as the Nate Diaz one.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, well,
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
He has some bargaining power, as
Yeah.
rightfully so. I mean, how many more fights is a guy like that gonna have? He's been fighting a long ass fucking time.
Yeah. Even though I don't like him, he is a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, he'll probably not be able to like shit talk because he won't be able to speak before he'll stop fighting.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Write it
That's what'll end his career.
This gonna get you pumped up, Rob.
yeah.
Gonna
Throwing
watch
some highlights from the second fight.
some training videos and
I don't know what it is I don't like about him either. I can't. It's just something, and it's just overwhelming. I didn't like Nick either.
the
I
fuck,
don't like either of them.
the build up to that fight and shit is just
Yeah.
so epic.
I guess.
Nick was
Like, look at this.
Yeah, it was like every other day there was some stupid controversy.
Like, you know it's gonna be good when Connor almost goes to fucking jail during the build up for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he does go to jail for
And
Not
he's
even
like,
his
he's getting
fight.
sued by like 5 different people every build up. You know it's gonna be a good pay per view.
Yeah.
I think he got sued for throwing those cans at the press conference for this, and
got
like
fined $153,000 or something.
Did he?
I think so.
yeah, that Dolly incident
The
for
Dolly
the
incident.
Khabib.
Yeah, he got off somehow.
Yeah.
He got off, but now the UFC's using it for all their promos and everything. And like Dana White was so disgusted with him.
Yeah.
I don't know
after
what's
it
happening
happened,
with
and,
him
like
right
he
now.
almost faced jail time during all that. So.
I thought he had to do a bit of community service, didn't he?
Yeah, he does.
there was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? What
He
the
hasn't
fuck
served
knows?
that yet.
Someone will serve it for him or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
He's gonna spend the
They accepted a plea bargain. Like nobody's that upset. You know what I mean?
I know.
That's what I'm getting at. Nobody's that upset.
Wasn't there a fighter who was like traumatized
Oh,
by the
Rose.
whole thing?
Rose
Yeah.
Namajunas.
Yeah, maybe. That might be legit. Who knows?
Yeah, not making fun or whatever, but I just remember that.
I mean, I don't think it would
fight
be
was so
as
good,
legit
man.
if he just gave her and Pat Barry $2 million. He might not be as traumatized.
Or the UFC does,
Yeah, the UFC does, or however
Yeah.
it works out, right?
because Connor could like sue them, right, for using that if it really came down to it, like using that footage that incriminated him.
I don't
to
know.
promote.
So
I don't know how that works.
I guess it
Maybe
depends.
There's got to be some like
Depends
It's
how
not
they're
like he
using
owns
it,
the
probably.
footage.
Like depends what
Oh, yeah.
exactly they're promoting with it.
You know, and maybe like how he looks at it is maybe just more dollars.
oh,
Yeah,
fucking right.
people are
his
going
pocket.
to turn in for
People want to see him get fucked up or fuck somebody up. It's
Yeah.
one or the other.
sure.
He's the guy though. Like I don't honestly hear. There's a few people I hear talk negative about him, but I don't honestly hear like.
Oh, I think the majority love him.
Yeah,
I think so,
it's
too.
He's not as like for a guy that more or less would be a heel.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as hated.
It's his whole like storyline and stuff. Like he's what every fucking guy wants to be.
Yeah, he's almost a
Basically,
working
right?
class hero in a lot
Exactly.
of ways.
The Dan Blazarian of fighters.
Yeah.
You follow Dan, obviously.
Oh yeah,
On
for
social
sure.
The
media.
best.
For sure.
Unreal.
It's
He's
ridiculous.
got the best fucking social media.
Yeah.
How many
Um,
followers does that guy have?
a shitload.
Millions.
And he's doing his own weed now. Not
Oh,
that
yeah,
has
that's right.
anything to do with MMA, but
It's always just hot chicks and weed. His
Yeah.
house is so fucking ridiculous.
which one?
The one, like the big one he got built or whatever that he's like shooting everything in now. Holy fuck.
Dude, that guy lives the fucking life.
I think some of it is just with, like the amount of guns he has is ridiculous. I'm not a gun nut, but like I'm not scared of him.
23.8 million followers.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many like dudes between 19 and 28 are in North America that are not following him that should be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
good for him.
Oh yeah, he's got the crocodile and yeah, I seen those.
Fucking anaconda.
Like, that's what we should be doing.
It's just pro shots.
Yeah,
Everything's a fucking
why
pro
are we
shot.
doing
A
that?
fucking anaconda and a Lamborghini.
Once this podcast is huge and we have that podcast fucking money,
From
Well-
Bud Light and Big Rock.
that's not even a. What the fuck was that? That was like a. Those
I
prehistoric
don't think it was a
dragon
Komodo,
things.
Oh, Komodo dragon.
Komodo
yeah. I
dragon.
don't. it
See,
might
that
have
chick was given the moon. There was one chick.
He's
she
got a
didn't have
pet
any.
fucking monkey. Like,
good.
Jesus Christ.
been. His
man.
cat. His cat that goes everywhere with him.
Yeah, man.
So for September 8th, which we will all be.
We're not
well,
there yet.
I could be back for that.
No, we'll be gone for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't come back till the 10th, and I'm not home till the 11th.
I could be back for that though. If you guys
Honeymoon?
wanna watch it.
Honeymoon?
Tyrone Woodley versus Darren Till
Ooh.
is the main event.
So what happened with the whole Colby thing? What was the deal there? Because basically Colby beat RDA for the interim title, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now they have Darren Till fighting
For the title.
Woodley for the title. And, you know, Darren Till's coming off wins over Wonderboy and Cowboy. And other wins, obviously, before that. But those are the two major ones.
As far as I know, Kobe is fighting the winner of that.
Okay.
Kobe apparently wanted some time off.
He had an injury or something, did he not?
I don't think so.
No.
I think
just
that's
time?
kind of why they gave it to Till. Is
He's hanging out here. Having too
my
good of a
bladder
time.
is tiny. I'll be right back.
And the co-main event is Nico Montano?
Montano?
I might have fucked that up.
Nico Montano.
And Valentina, you'll say it.
Shevchenko.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll watch that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any predictions for that?
I think Shevchenko by whatever. And Woodley Till, man. I don't know. After Darren Till's huge. He is, he said he was like a light heavyweight. Is what he said in a couple press conferences.
Do you know what he walks around
He
at?
can't make fucking weight, I don't think.
No.
So
They're fighting at 170.
Yeah, but he is huge.
Probably
like,
walks around above 200.
Well, when Cam gets back, maybe pull up from the press conference. He looks
Yeah.
2 to 3 weight classes bigger than
Holy crap.
Woodley.
Ugh.
Like when they square off, he is so much bigger. And Woodley's a big guy too.
For sure he is.
Like for once, he's thick and his quads are huge. And like,
Yeah.
he carries a lot of it in his lower body. But my God, and not that it's like the size. The size obviously plays a part, but it's not everything.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to see what the game plan is coming in for Woodley. I guess we'll find out in a few weeks if that nothing falls off the card.
Yeah.
But I don't have a prediction for that one. I don't honestly know how that, or think I know how it might play out. I have no idea.
Probably won't go to the judges.
I would hope not, but the only comparable guy that they've fought is Wonderboy. And Till hurt Wonderboy, I think, one time, and Woodley had him hurt bad in both fights.
And it's not like
And
Wonderboy's
they
a bad
are
fighter.
similar-ish styles in the sense like they're more, distance fighters. Want to kind of joust,
Not the mic,
or,
man.
or
not the mic.
fence rather. Thank you. Could you pull up the when you gotta say young Cam? When you get settled, the square off between Darren Till and
Woodley?
and Woodley.
Sure.
I was just telling them how huge Darren Till looks.
He's gonna be. If GSP doesn't fight for the lightweight title, I think Darren Till is going to be the first 3-division champ. He wants to end up at 205.
He's massive. So yeah, that one. Who else is on that card, Rob?
Shevchenko and
Oh yeah,
Shevchenko.
I said
She doesn't have a lot
probably-
of. Sorry, go ahead.
I think I would pick Shevchenko by whatever she wants.
Again,
yeah.
sorry if I fucked this up. Nico Montano doesn't look like she
There
has a
you
lot of
go.
fights under her.
Check this out.
Fuck. He
Are
is
He's
you
a
kidding
big
me?
fucking guy,
Yeah.
man.
Boy.
Are you
Yeah, this
kidding
is what
me?
I'm talking about.
And you're right. Woodley's not a small dude.
And
That's
Woodley
nuts.
wants to go to 85 after this fight too.
That's fuckingly.
Till still, he's gonna fill out even more at 85 and 205.
He's basically
eventually.
dying to make
Woodley,
170.
yeah.
No, Till.
Till?
Just because he's got the frame for it, like.
He's a big boy. Yeah, I'll put a $20 bet on Till
Yeah.
now.
Oh, what the hell? I don't know what the betting line is for it, but
Yeah, for sure.
so yeah. Then you got Shevchenko, Montano.
Montano.
Or
Like it says
I don't know
she's
what it is.
4-2.
father.
Yeah, and she
I know.
kind of squeaked by like Roxanne Modafferi,
That's right.
and so I love Roxanne, but the girls that Shevchenko's fought are like total other level.
Amanda Nunes
Amanda
twice.
Nunez twice, yeah.
Yes, Shevchenko.
That puts
Um,
some miles on you.
She's a tough girl.
Like she's fought some tough girls, you
Yeah.
know, and
Holly Holm.
beat some
that's
tough
right.
girls
She beat
too.
Holly Holm actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
she beat
I
Holly
forgot
Holm.
about that, man.
So this girl, like technically, she is. I think she is so far above everybody in that division, at least right now. She's a little bit undersized for 135. Obviously not too badly undersized, or else.
Yeah, nah, I was just being a retard. Oh, no.
Politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Staring
no.
at her in her training.
At least you didn't say
Uh,
gay.
No, yeah, that's way worse. No, it's not. It's the same. What was I going to say? Oh, what is happening with Holly Holm? Have
I
you,
don't
has
know.
there been any
Not
news
much.
about her?
There was some talk about her going back down to 135, but I mean, she won her last fight.
You know what? The last fight I saw was the one she lost. So
Which
to
one?
Nunez.
Oh, okay.
No,
She
Cyborg.
didn't fight Cyborg, probably.
I think the UFC's kind of held up right now with her because I think they're trying to make the Cyborg Nunez fight for December. But who's not agreeing? Cyborg's not really agreeing.
Cyborg's not really agreeing. She wants to fight sooner.
Yeah.
She wants to fight sooner.
Yeah. So it's like timing thing is kind of fucked up, but
She's kind of like in her prime or getting close to the end of it, I think. And
I think so, too.
She wants to fight more. And they don't really have anybody for her to.
no.
Who stripped Holly of the belt? It wasn't Cyborg.
Misha Tate. Or no,
Yeah, it was.
Misha
she
Tate
beat
beat
Misha
her.
Tate.
No, Misha.
No, Misha
Oh
Tate
yeah, Misha
strangled
Tate
her.
beat her.
Sorry,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So actually, that was the last time I seen Holly
Really?
fight. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Oh,
she
yeah, that was a
lost
while
two
I'm
back.
all
more.
fucked up. Sorry.
She lost to Cyborg, but she also lost right after Misha to, I think, Valentina.
Yeah.
And then she lost to Cyborg. She lost 3 or 4 in a row.
But then she won the last one.
Let's
She won her
fucking pull
last
it up
fight,
here.
yeah, which was against. Yeah, Cam's gonna pull it up right away. Else I'm gonna start shuffling names around conveniently. She lost to Brock Lesnar, I think.
Yeah.
So
Oh, she
okay,
beat Megan.
So there's 3 losses in a row there. Misha Tate, Valentina, and
Jermaine.
Durrani, that's right.
I did not see that fight.
So that was for the 145-pound title, which was
You know
they
what?
basically just created the division for that
yeah.
fight. And then Jermaine got stripped of the title because she didn't want to defend it against Cyborg.
Right.
And so they made Cyborg versus Holly for the title that Holly.
So Holly
didn't win in her
Holly,
previous-
yeah, Holly basically had 2
Holly
shots at the belt,
basically.
lost
Yeah.
them both.
Yeah,
That's fucked.
Wow.
yeah. But then she beats. So it was kind of a bit of a. There's been some weird shit there because then they made.
Holly should be stronger
Holly.
at 45 though,
You think so?
because she looks
Cyborg.
she looks fucking thin as a rail at 35.
But Jermaine was big too.
It takes a while though. Like you can't just go up 3 months from fighting at 35 to fight at 145 and then
No, that's
pack
true.
on
Expect to be huge.
5 pounds of muscle even. It's fucking takes Takes a while.
There was some pretty bad fouls in that fight from Jermaine too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She's coming back too, eh? She's fighting that Kaylin
Kaylin Vieira.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be good one to watch.
Are we keeping when we talked about Mighty Mouse already?
Oh yeah, we talked about my.
Okay, we're gonna
we
keep
did.
that.
Sure.
What do you guys think about the UFC going back to like just having a massive fucking pay-per-view every 6 weeks or something like that, like the old days?
I prefer that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I think so too.
I like a lot of the prospects and stuff, but maybe they should do something like where they have. I don't know.
I mean, that probably ends up meaning that there will be less fights overall throughout a year, though. Like that's
Probably.
not gonna be great for
But-
no-name fighters.
No, I was almost thinking like since they have that new ESPN deal now,
Yeah.
they could almost do like a small show basically every month to help promote those big pay-per-views as well. And
Right.
then have like all the
and
prospects
leave
and,
the UFC numbered cards just
Yeah.
for.
Bigger fights.
and then like do
Yeah.
those small shows like
I'd be okay with that.
Mhm.
yeah, do those small shows like as like almost like a breakdown of the divisions too, like promote it, be like, oh, here's our top 10, like
Yeah.
these are the guys that are like right fringe top 10 almost.
Yeah.
Or like have
Yeah, because
a
then
more
they can basically get their day in the sun, their own specific highlights on on that dedicated show.
yeah, or do something like that, because I think there's got to be a better structure. Like you can't have all these little shows like, oh, it's FS1 now, it's big Fox show now, it's fucking this or that. Like it's do something a little more structured, like all the other sports almost.
Mhm.
Because at least with like hockey and stuff, you have the whole season basically, and then in the springtime you have the big fucking the playoffs.
What
You
if
can't really do that with fighting, but you can do.
What
you
if
can
they
structure
did,
something better.
What if they
I
did
think.
something like March Madness, where they get like amateur fighters lined up for a tournament all month long in March?
They could do lots of things
Yeah.
like that, that would be okay. Or, but like what you were saying is like on the ESPN thing, you almost have it like it's still a UFC thing, but it's almost like a feeder
Yeah,
to the bigger shows.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not amateur; it's still pro.
yeah. They're
There's still good
yeah, they're
guys.
still like within breaking the top 10.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know what the numbers are, but the Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series seems to be pretty popular.
Yeah.
People
Like,
like
that's
that
awesome. I
format.
love that show.
It's a good show.
I like that better than Tough
Yeah. Oh,
because
it's
it's
way
live.
better. Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
they do-
I think we've all been getting tired of Tough for a while
Oh,
now.
yeah,
fuck.
and they do a really good job of like the storylines for those guys.
Yeah,
Because it'll be 5 fights a night, 4 fights, but their entire like they build them up like very well.
I think that's a lot more useful than the tough format, to be
Yeah.
honest, because it's almost saturation. You have so many different guys you got to keep. Oh, this guy, he's got 3 kids and he's struggling. And he's from England and whatever, and he's going to go back to nothing. And then you watch them eat a sandwich.
yeah.
I-
Oh yeah, the Tough format is outdated, and it just
know.
gets exhausting
Yeah.
because like you don't care about it until like the last couple weeks of a season.
Yeah.
And the fucking results are always leaked
Yeah.
before the finale anyway.
Yeah,
like,
because it's not live. Yeah.
No. So if they did something like that, like the Dana White show, do that like every 2 weeks, and then like every 6 weeks do a fucking massive pay-per-view. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for those divisions that they just promoted or something.
Oh, totally. And
I don't know.
ESPN could have the highlights of the stuff that happened on the smaller events
Yeah.
leading up to the pay-per-views or whatever,
Yeah.
and you kind of,
And then you're drawing in this massive audience to purchase the pay-per-view.
I started
know.
hearing that complaint around 2011 or something. I would be talking to people and they would say like, "There's so many guys now,
Yeah.
can't keep
That-
track of them all,"
that's
which I get. Like
always what I hear.
I like it and I like the volume of it, and there's so many exciting people coming up all
Yeah.
the time. But totally, those guys, they would watch every pay-per-view when it was Randy Couture, Brandon Vera,
yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell fighting, Matt Hughes, all those guys back in the day. But there was 12 pay-per-views a year.
But that's what everybody followed was the pay-per-views. It was always pay-per-view to pay-per-view almost. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you talk to people like, "Oh yeah, I watched Randy Couture beat Tim Sylvia in the last pay-per-view. Now
Yeah.
he's fighting Brandon Vera at 205, making his debut." Like it was I think it was a better system almost. They probably make more money now because there's so much content, and they probably have to have so much content because there's so many fighters now in comparison to those days. But I think there's a better system that they can.
Yeah, you could
come up with.
capitalize on
It's
Yeah.
it's
creating some interest.
It's too much.
Yeah, because what do they have, like over 600 signed fighters right now?
It's got to
Probably.
be somewhere around there. Yeah, the roster's huge.
Yeah.
And then even when it was 400 and something, it was like, holy shit, there's a lot.
Yeah, it was unmanageable at
You
that
know.
point.
Wait, and so who's next down on that card, Robbie? I mean, there's Nico, Valentina,
Jessica Andrade,
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 Oh,
thank
yeah.
you, and Carolina.
Kovacevic.
But like, so talking about the cards, just from going back and forth quickly, it's every month you have one UFC card, and then you have a fight night.
Yeah.
And is it the fight night that you find disagreeable,
It can be.
It's
or is it
both.
the
Yeah, but it ends up
you
being
think,
both.
you
Because-
think 4
He's
weeks
right.
is too short, or is too
Okay.
short to have another card?
Well, so what's the next pay-per-view?
September 8th, UFC.
Well, that's Conor.
228.
Khabib.
That's the one
Nope.
he's talking.
UFC 228 is the next one, and then so the one that just passed was August 4th. Yeah. So the next one's September
Yeah.
8th.
See, that's good.
Okay,
That's like a
so-
1 month.
Yeah, but okay. So basically, my point is that you'll know like the top 3 fights on that card. You're like, okay, these are all names, but then it's so fucking watered down because there's so many pay-per-views now.
Like, what's next after that one? What's number 4?
The main card would be Carla Esparza.
Esparza, yeah.
Esparza.
Like, why is that
And-
on the fucking pay-per-view? No offense, but you know what I mean. Like,
That's a undercard fight.
oh, it is.
No, it should be.
No,
Well, yeah,
it
it
is
should
on the
be.
main
like,
card though.
He's agreeing.
Yeah.
with you.
Even maybe headline an undercard almost or something.
Yeah.
But like back in the fucking day, like 4 years ago, even, it was like the
Yeah,
fucking
the-
top
the-
8 fights on that card
The entire
You wanted
card
to
are
watch.
now
you
main
were-
events these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like this is probably a lot of layers of nostalgia attached to this as well. But like, I remember when we would watch fights in your basement, and yeah, it was just like every fucking fight on the card was just intense,
Yeah.
and we knew all the fighters, and like there was more energy those nights. It felt like
there
Oh,
was
totally.
There's more investment in the fighters as well because you knew the names.
Even if you had Crow Cop 4 fights down
yeah,
or 5 fights down on the card, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Fucking love Crow Cop.
It's awesome.
yeah, and it felt like we were getting like 3 full hours of entertaining content,
Yeah.
and now it feels like 2 fights we're looking forward to on
It's
on
totally-
any given card.
okay. So let's go back to December 28th, 2007. Because why not?
Golden,
is how
the
stacked
golden
these
age.
fucking
So
cards were,
Pelele was
man.
fighting back then even?
Okay, so you had GSP, Matt Hughes, Chuck Liddell, Vanderlei Silva, Eddie Sanchez, Pelele, Machida, Sokoju,
Oh my god.
who Sokoju came over from Pride. He's a fucking destroyer. Rich Clemente, Melvin Gillard, James Irvin. But at the time, like, those were big.
James Irvin
Those
was
were big
huge.
fights,
Yeah.
man.
He was killing people.
What was the very last card? So
Fight?
yeah.
Mark
Okay.
Bocek. Yeah.
Juan Canero.
Doug
yeah.
Evans, yeah.
But, like, that's UFC
We
79.
should find some other ones like that, like from back in the day. Like 2008 or something. 2008 was a good year for
Or,
MMA.
you know what? Actually, I'll just,
2009.
Go to GSP's, like, pay-per-views.
It does definitely feel like public awareness of UFC cards really started to seep into everyone's consciousness around the time that like GSP was coming up in the ranks.
Yeah.
And like you say, like
There's-
everyone would look forward to Couture's fights, to Liddell's fights.
Yeah. These were good fights. Like on if you take a look at the lightweight division has always been pretty stacked, you know,
Yeah.
like historically if you go back and
Mhm.
Which card was this?
This is 94.
94.
GSP versus Penn too.
Yeah, and they were both division champions, weren't they? Was BJ Penn the lightweight
I
champ
don't
when
know
they
if he was
fought?
a lightweight champ at that time.
Fuck,
I think
how,
he was.
How
Might have
old
been.
was
He
John
was,
Jones for this card? Like this
Oh,
must have been
fuck.
pretty early in his career.
What year
right?
was
this is
this?
20 or
2009.
yeah,
2009?
so he became the champion in 2000 and
So He's 31
11.
now. 2009. That was 9
So
years
he would have
ago.
been 22.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Fuck, man, those were the days.
That's crazy.
But like, yeah. If you look at that card, I mean, you have you had a lot of guys that were being promoted very well and were popular, and people wanted to see still. Like, and I know a lot of people probably don't remember them.
That's super good. We're looking at the
Now.
lineup for UFC 100 and just
This was
Oh, yeah.
apparently the main
Oh,
event.
UFC 100 was
That was,
That
yeah,
was
it's
such a
definitely
good
not the main
card.
event. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But that card that Cam was just looking at with Thiago Silva and Lyoto Machida on it, I mean, both of them were undefeated at the time, and it was
And
the same.
That
thing.
alone was a massive.
That was alone.
fight
They were
for
both
that division.
17-0 or something like that,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
16-0, whatever it was. And yeah, so they're both undefeated. Like, there's just lots of, big collisions happening at that time. Guys that are on real upward trajectory. And
Yeah, like
It
I don't
was
know.
good.
It was different. But like everybody that stopped watching the UFC and stuff, like that I talked to, it's always there's too many fights, too many guys.
Now, it might also be that, like, back then, the fan base for UFC was a little smaller, probably a more dedicated fan base. Nowadays, it's, reaching a much broader
It's
audience.
true, too.
Yeah, I mean there's
The-
there's probably a ton of variables.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, because we look at this and you go, oh, who are these guys? A lot of them. But,
And, like, the biggest fighters right now that, like, anybody on the street would know are the ones that trash talk the most. Obviously, Conor McGregor,
it makes some noise, yeah.
right?
this is gonna possibly sound stupid, but there's a saying for, like, obviously, like, for example, for comic books, every comic book is somebody's first. So even though this one issue is garbage to most people, that is still special to somebody. That's somebody's first comic book that they remember reading. So even now, it's like, well, for me personally, like, I was a big GSP fan. I'm a big Mark Hunt fan. There's a lot of heavyweights that I have fallen in and out of love with because the heavyweight division is so brutal.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like, there's all these people that these are their fighters. So it may be just a simple case of, one, most of the time we're talking to people plus minus 10 years.
Yeah.
So they are watching the same people we were. So, the fighters that we care about either don't fight anymore, fight very rarely, or only do those big fights, where a lot of these other people are going to have these new fighters. So, like, personally, I don't give a shit about Holly Holm. Not because she's not a good fighter, but it's just, like, not someone that is on my radar. But for somebody, that's like
She's a
that's
hero.
their
Mhm.
that's their GSP.
Yeah.
Although short-lived.
Well,
Right?
you know, like if you look on Sherdog, I mean, that's everybody's.
That's why I feel like you need like 5 Holly Holm fights on a card, like
Mhm.
big names per
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
that
You
sort of
bring
level,
fucking
right?
everybody in, man.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I definitely agree with you, Cam. I mean, I would be much happier with a bigger card every 6 weeks than a couple of diluted cards.
Yeah.
I would love
twice a
to.
month.
Especially paying that money.
Yeah, I would love to try it.
I'll pay $100 a pay-per-view if it's stacked.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, up the price of the pay-per-view, but have them less often.
Because I'm paying, like, lately we've been paying $65 or
65
$70
bucks,
or
yeah.
whatever for one or
fights.
2 fights
Yeah.
that you're pumped for.
Totally.
So I'd gladly pay another $40 to have, 5 more of those on a card or
Mhm.
something.
And there have
I'd-
been lots of epic cards that look terrible on paper too.
Mhm.
So I mean,
That's true too.
but that being said, if that's the format like you suggested, where they have a show on ESPN, and those cards just turn out to be absolute barn burners, that doesn't hurt anybody.
No.
you're
That's only going to help the pay per view or whatever, right? Like if-
exactly.
Ah,
I don't know. That's kind of what I think, but
yeah, I
I've
wouldn't
been
be
kind of
opposed
thinking
to
about it lately, for whatever reason. What would I do in Dana White's shoes? I probably wouldn't be running the UFC.
No.
I'd be living like Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just let that thing make money for me.
Yeah,
and
Your few
exactly.
hundred
fuck
million
off.
in the bank. Fuck it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, his 10% that he sold for whatever it was, 400 and
Yeah, it was
Some
over. It was
$1 million.
over 400 for sure. Yeah. Crazy.
What else is there on that card, Rob?
Sorry,
Are you still looking at it?
I
Or?
switched gears here.
Okay. Well, it's fine. I was just curious to go down it,
There's only one more fight on it.
This is one for you. The way in.
Yes. Alistair Overeem, man. I just want him to be the best.
Fuck, I want him to win the championship so bad.
I do.
me too.
More than anybody else.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he'd have every fucking title. I
Yeah.
think.
He'd be the most decorated combat sport athlete
Yeah. He
ever.
would.
What the fuck?
Edgar
Yeah.
versus Maynard 3.
Is there any more news about DC, Brock?
Nothing really.
I've heard shit, honestly.
Yeah, DC's kind of toying with the idea of going down to 205 and defending in the meantime.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Shogun probably would have had a title shot if
Yeah. But
he didn't get knocked
Brock's
out
not
cold.
eligible to even fight until February.
Till
Because
February.
he's got to go through the USADA testing pool. I think he was tested once so far.
They should have
I
just
mean-
made Shogun versus DC. And like when Volkan pulled out of that fight against Shogun, they should have just made Shogun DC. Like on short notice.
Didn't Shogun just fucking lose?
Yeah.
Corey,
To,
or
what's his name? The guy that's only on a 2-fight win streak because one person was Rashad and the other was Shogun.
Anthony
Anthony
Smith.
Smith.
That's who it was.
No disrespect to Anthony Smith.
He just destroyed him.
He just fucking KO'd him clean on the feet. Against the fence.
Just pulling random numbers. So like pay-per-view sales for earlier UFCs, like our nostalgia time, 93, 94, getting into the low 100s.
Mhm.
You're looking at as low as 320 buys to 1.5 million, obviously for UFC 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just pulled some random recent numbers, and it's like 221, and it had Romero Rockhold on it. Was only 130,000 buys. But I was whatever the last one Cyborg fought on was like I think 340. So some are lower, but
Yeah.
they are probably making more money. And it like
More people watching, probably. Well, just bigger general audience, maybe.
Yeah.
so. Obviously, I would have to do a little bit more reading and research on that, but
Crunch some numbers, find out a yearly average.
Yeah.
Like
It
compare.
would be cool to trend some of
compare
that stuff.
2007 to 2017.
and maybe I'll try and have that ready for next time we get together.
The metrics guy.
Somebody bring in a fucking Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I'll put a graph
Be
up on
sweet.
the screen.
Yeah.
Actually, if you
Pie chart.
look here, the percentages.
Because it is interesting, you know.
Oh,
And
definitely.
there are a
Like,
lot-
and
I would be
guaranteed they
all over
know
that
all that
spreadsheet.
stuff, right?
Oh, I know. There's people smarter than us.
Like they
that
know
are
all
crunching
that
these
stuff.
numbers.
Or
Yeah.
people that work for like who's the guy that always gets cited for pay-per-view numbers? Dave Meltzer. So he does a lot of the pay-per-view number estimates and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
It seems like that's his job, so he must be decent at it. But
Probably knows how to use a calculator, I imagine.
I think so.
Yeah.
and if this was like hemorrhaging money, they wouldn't be doing it.
No, that's true too.
Yeah. If it ain't broke.
But maybe at the
Mhm.
same time, obviously they're trying to do some different things to bolster their earnings. So, some of it seems like experimentation, just from a
For sure.
outside observer. But I'm
If
sure
you're
they
not-
have.
It's probably
big board
all
meetings
it's probably
and-
all calculated.
Yeah,
Like the Great Canadian Oil Sands, if you're not growing, you're dying. So
They should probably just hire us to
probably
crunch
should.
these numbers for
Yeah.
them over beers.
I'll take $250,000 a year.
At least.
Yeah,
I feel like there's someone listening to this being like, if you just Googled it, assholes, it
Yeah.
would tell you. You would have to do no research.
there isn't somebody listening. There will be somebody listening that
Our
says
Russian
that.
robots.
Oh, fuck. There was a guy that got really mad at you in the comments of our last episode
Oh, was
that we all had
Dan?
together.
was it
No,
the
no,
last
no,
one?
It wasn't.
The one that we were all last
Yeah,
time?
yeah,
yeah.
So it was like two episodes ago.
It's
Anyway,
the
because
full
you
episode.
made a comment just like briefly or whatever, we're kind of just passing over the topic. But anyway, you mentioned that Brock Lesnar doesn't have a very good chin,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy, this obviously he's a WWE fan. He just fucking lost his shit in the comments,
Oh, I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah.
talking about how
You
you obviously you're just an MMA noob because Brock Lesnar's chin is fucking unreal because he took like 100 unanswered punches from Shane Carwin, and he doesn't go out cold, but
For sure, he took a beating from Shane Carwin, but then like if you watch another fight after that one,
But it was like a comment that we all knew what you were saying. Like,
Mhm.
okay, he's been
Yeah.
stopped and stuff. And
Yeah.
We know he's
hasn't
been
had that many
TKO. He's
fights
never
or-
been knocked out clean, of
No,
course.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
we all knew what
We
you
get
were
what you're
saying. But
saying.
like he
no, for sure.
took it to fucking heart, obviously.
Yeah. No, I'm a garbage human being. That's a good point.
I don't know. It was kind of
If
funny.
we can deduce one thing
Yeah.
from that, yeah.
Like reading the
And-
comments is like so cancer, but it's like
You know, it's
they're
good.
entertaining a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
got to get the feel of who's listening to you.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like annoyed for like a split second. And I'm like, oh well, thanks for fucking listening. 45 minutes into the podcast. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
really
yeah,
good. Like,
You went deep before. Sorry for your
Yeah.
loss.
Obviously, their time is valuable.
yeah, no, it was funny. I had a pretty good laugh.
Okay, this is you see here. Okay.
If you got time to listen to a bunch of white people talk about fucking
Sport face punching.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that was funny. Yeah, so
Where is it? I only see 4 comments. They're from our buddy Dan.
Dan made 4 comments.
Dan from Oregon.
Dan from Oregon.
Either that or I don't understand how this works.
Dan's.
Yeah, because Dan had 2.
Oh.
Oops. I didn't mean to downvote you there, Dan. Sorry.
whoops.
Yeah, I don't see it on
where
the
the hell
YouTube
was it?
comments.
Finger slipped again.
Yeah.
This one.
But
Remember,
yeah,
like-
no, you know what? I encourage people
There
to
you go.
Oh, maybe it was deleted?
disagree with
Oh.
my views because, you know, like any good amateur podcast, my opinions are my own.
Please stop playing
Yeah.
sound. We can't hear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that was good feedback, Dan, because
Yeah,
we
it was
won't
good.
try and
That
play
was good
sound
feedback,
anymore.
honestly.
We didn't realize that was that bad.
Want to play it loud enough to hear it, or?
Yeah, once I watched it back, I was like, yeah, I kind of see his point, especially if you're like a iTunes listener. But,
Maybe maybe it's under the podcast or the next episode you guys did.
fuck, I don't know. Oh, maybe it was right here.
Two
Yeah, see,
comments.
like I can't see them now. I don't know why. So like somebody I think reported his comment,
Oh, that's shitty.
and then the second comment was me replying to him, like laughing or whatever. I think that's what happens. Once
Yeah.
a comment gets reported, it's not visible anymore.
That's
I
unfortunate.
believe.
We do appreciate that you stay on top of this, though, Cam.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy.
Give the real personal touch to all of our fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
What
might
those
be
are all
yours.
notifications.
Yeah, because I kind of like just post on like MMA videos and stuff. They're
Oh,
kind of
okay.
recent and yeah, I don't know. It's probably in there somewhere, but
Nah, no, perfect.
whatever.
Let's
It's kind of funny.
see if we can bounce back on topic. One thing that is coming up, speaking of fighters that I hold near and dear, Mark Hunt is fighting not what the fuck next fight night. So fight night 136.
In
Mark-
September?
Yeah, September 15th.
Okay.
Mark Hunt versus Aleski Olenek
Are
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Are you going to be
That's
around
gonna be a good fight.
that night. Yeah, I think so. I'm home that night. We should watch that. So I think there is some, because there's value to these. It's just maybe getting a better formula because
I think so. Yeah.
And it's really, a lot of it is just going to be coming down to practice. Just
It is.
putting in more podcasts. And
oh no, I meant
Like-
them having the smaller fight cards.
Oh, yeah.
There is some value to it. It's just finding out, maybe like Cam said and Brandon was saying, a better formula. Also, yes, our podcast needs formula work.
Yeah. I think it's gotten better. A lot better.
What are we at for time?
I have no idea.
I got here at
It's,
we might
10,
be around
10:50.
an hour. Yeah,
I think we started at like 9:50 something.
yeah, that's not bad.
But a lot of that was bullshit too. So I don't know. I think like 45 minutes to an hour and a half is probably good.
But definitely doable for our pace.
Yeah. And as we get a little bit more refined, I think that's going to make a big difference.
You guys want to switch it up and talk about like some games or anything finish it off.
Yeah.
Another 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes of nonsense
It's
for
about
anyone
70
who
minutes
doesn't
in
care
right now,
about
so-
nonsense. I guess
Some-
this is a good place to.
It's-
with
etc.
about 10 to
Yeah.
15 that we're going to chop off at the beginning.
yeah.
Can you, or whatever.
What?
I could use a beer maybe, but
Yeah.
Girl.
if you're getting up.
Since you're
I'm
up.
okay. Yeah.
But
Oh, here. You want to take this one?
So
Thanks.
now that you hear us changing beverages, we will move into the etc.
Does anybody want to pee first?
No, I don't have a tiny bladder
Fuck,
like you.
mine is tiny, man. It's just because like when I'm at work and stuff, like doing my rounds,
Yeah.
You know
and
what?
I gotta pee, I just pee.
Just keep it like a 2-liter bottle under the table.
I should just
Just
like
unzip your
insert a
pants.
fucking catheter
Yeah,
or whatever.
That'll work.
So in just I'm good. In random
Big fan.
nonsense, do any of you play Fortnite?
I do.
I know that this half the table doesn't, but maybe you did.
Yeah.
Video games?
What the fuck is it? I have no idea what
Yeah, I
Fortnite
know,
is.
that's what happened
I
to me
just
on the
see
Let's see Bud Lights.
Commercials.
Is the paper towel still down here?
Yes.
you just suck it.
Son of a
There you go, atta girl.
Dirty.
Girl.
bar started up.
I don't know why it's not loading. Fortnite is basically like a. What would I compare it to?
Quake?
It's an FPS, obviously. Strategy FPS. It's fucking very fast paced.
Don't like it. I need slow old man games.
Yeah, like it's annoying because all the kids that play it, because there's a building aspect to it.
Yeah.
So when you're in combat, you have wood, steel, and brick.
You're building while you're in combat.
Yeah, and it's fucking some of the fucking nerds, man, that play that game and can build super well. It's fucking insane. So like I'm not that good at it. Like I'm good at it, but the building aspect, that's an entire game almost to itself.
Yeah. Total other level.
And people have like built strategies to win just with building.
Fuck, nothing's loading. But yeah, so it's like you get into combat with somebody, and all of a sudden they're fucking 13 stories high in their base.
So they've
'Cause they're that
watched
fast.
they've seen the prequels then. They have the high ground.
It's smart. And then like
Episode
I'm sitting
3?
there, I'm trying to build like my fucking one story.
When
and I
Anakin
got my
didn't have the
ramps
high
set
ground?
up properly, and like, but you just shoot it and you
Brutal.
destroy it.
I was
So
like,
It's
where-
over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Fucking hashtag combat tactics 101, huh?
Yeah.
It is amazing how fast games are now. Like I can't play fucking
I-
StarCraft because it's too fast.
I love that people can make a living doing this. I fucking
it's
absolutely
fucking
love it.
Oh yeah. Nothing makes me happier.
I love it.
I would never be able to do it myself, but
yeah, but I'm
I,
like,
lo-
I'm
I, lo-
actually,
I love that it's a thing.
it's
I'm
so
actually
big,
happy
man.
that people can do it. Yeah.
The Fortnite tournaments
Look
are
at these
bigger
guys.
than Dota now and League of Legends.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Start a Patreon.
So okay, so let's go back a little bit.
for $10,000 a month, you will get nothing.
Holy shit.
2 hours of podcast.
So that's kind of how it is. So you got to switch over to your your materials, like your building materials. So yeah, you see him kind of going through his. You got a ramp, you got a flat base, and a wall, and a pyramid.
So is this guy really good at Fortnite?
Yeah.
This Kinstar.
So like you get shot,
Okay.
fuck instant wall up. If
Yeah, that's
you're
crazy.
really good.
How are you doing this at the same time though? Like, what kind of
But like
Just-
everything in this game is like destructible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it
You're
all
just-
like fast keys and stuff?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Key bindings and
It's like you know
Okay.
those guys like back when we were growing up, they did like that Dance Dance Revolution shit, and
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like it makes no
DDR.
sense.
Yeah.
Like how good they are. That's like what this is almost.
yes, DDR is what Dance Revolution is.
That's the only.
You're talking about
you know,
DDR.
I had to like throw that in there so it sounds like I know what he's talking about.
Th-
Sort of.
A high score? What is that? Did I break it? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Grandma's Boy?
Yeah.
Super good movie. If you haven't watched it,
I haven't.
oh, it's
Like, look
so
at this.
good. It's
Okay,
like
so you're built. The only purpose of your building is to like
Get away or
get away.
Yeah.
From people that want to kill you. This is fucked up.
Yeah.
it's fucking insane because there's like
Sounds
jump
good.
pads and stuff you can put down on your building materials to like.
So are the stairs like one key and the side
Yeah.
of the stairs another key and like you gotta.
Yeah.
it's all key bindings, right? And you can get like a mouse that has 6 or 7 buttons on
I would like to see a
So-
shot of his hand that's not on the mouse at the same time. You
Okay,
know?
so you see the bottom right.
Yeah.
You'll see his pickaxe is always the first item.
Okay.
You have to have that out to build. And then the other like 3, 4, 5 slots are items and weapons. So he's always switching to his pickaxe first to build.
Oh
like,
God! So
they
he's
do
got,
it that fast. It's fucking.
He's got one hand on the number pad, or on a number pad.
It's
That's what it is.
usually just
Have you ever used a computer to play a shooter?
That's what I'm trying to
A lo-
figure out.
a
Like,
lot
how,
of
the,
it-
how does it work?
a lot of it nowadays is like gaming mice. You'll have like fucking 20 buttons just on your mouse.
Oh shit! Really?
Do you remember how like you'd have WASD?
ASD.
Mhm.
You have your hand here.
Yeah, like back in the day, like
Gotta go
Can't do it.
what do we used to play?
Catheter.
Half-Life,
Yeah.
like Half-Life, WASD.
Yeah.
Well, if we tank on being an MMA podcast, I guess we could be a Fortnite podcast. Now that we all know what it is, it's really good.
Yeah.
Except none of us will actually ever be this
No.
good. We'll just comment on.
So this guy's Russian or something, obviously.
Yeah.
Number one code Car. I don't even know how to pronounce. Like, no idea how to pronounce Russian characters. This chick's got a bazooka.
And it's a
See,
dude.
you play a game like this and you run around and you go, oh, this character like is pretty good looking, you know. But then it's just like some dude with a goatee.
No, I don't think that's what happens. This game looks a little fast paced for that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're playing WoW.
I think that guy's pretty good
But
looking.
she's cute, though.
I'd date him.
She's cute. Maybe
Might
that's
be.
his female alter ego.
Yeah.
But maybe she's not
Nope,
female.
we're heading into dangerous territory here. Nope.
What?
Nope.
we hit the laser room at the museum.
Yeah.
We're trying to dodge the beams.
Yeah.
A little bit of chalk dust in the air. We're in the pick of destiny when they're trying to get the pick of destiny.
Yep.
Stranger danger goes up immediately.
The heckles on the back of my neck.
We should order some donaires after this, maybe.
You should.
Yeah.
I got 50. I got 50 Canadian kopecks
I have
That,
zero
that should
Canadian
buy us
kopecks.
at least 8
from the master of the house.
donaires.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's only 4 donaires.
Yeah.
That's what $50 gets you in
Yeah,
Canada.
$50 Canadian. Yeah. Not good.
So last time we were all together, we talked about this game, Fear the Wolves.
Mhm.
It was announced at E3 as well.
Okay.
So I got invited to the closed beta for this.
Dope.
Really?
So I was playing it yesterday. It is the worst fucking game. It looks nothing. It looks nothing
It looks nothing like this.
like this.
Was this supposed to be
This was the
VR?
trailer from E3.
Yeah, and it
this
looks fucking
definitely
sick.
looks awesome.
Okay, first of all, the graphics are 10 times worse than that.
what?
So you
And-
launch in, you're on a helicopter, and you gotta jump out of it anywhere on the map and parachute down, blah blah blah. The entire fucking ride on the helicopter, it was frozen for me. So it's like press F key to jump. So I waited like 5 minutes, jumped finally, and then like I know it's a beta and everything, but the graphics do not even look this good. It's fucking
What's it
Awful.
called again? I
Fear the
forgot already.
Wolves.
Fear the Wolves.
So it's just wolves everywhere?
no. It's like 100 people launch into the map, and it's a battle royale, everybody for themselves kind of thing.
And there's wolves.
Gotcha.
Like Fortnite and H1Z1 and PUBG.
PUBG.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be like the killer, like the PUBG killer, basically. But oh my fucking god,
Every
what a
time
waste,
a
man.
game has come out and it's like, this is the World of Warcraft killer.
Yeah,
That
it's
It
never
never-
happened.
never
I feel
happens.
like prefacing any game like that is like you're doomed to failure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good way of looking at it, because it's fucking like, if you say something's going to be more awesome than something else, then it's always compared to something else.
Oh yeah. Like pretty much any game that gets too much hype is guaranteed to fail.
Yeah.
Like remember No Man's Sky?
Which is
You hear,
actually
you
good
hear
now.
anybody
Yeah.
playing that now?
Nope.
Yeah, everybody's playing it now
Oh yeah.
because they finally updated it.
Is it awesome now?
It's the way it was supposed to be at launch,
Oh really?
so now it is that way.
okay.
Oh,
But like
okay.
they lost fucking half their fan base
Yeah.
probably.
Probably more than
But,
The
half.
time in between.
But it's like I think it's one of the most watched.
Okay, now here's a
Games on
serious
Twitch.
question. You guys could tell me for sure, because I was not in the know at that time, nor do I claim to be now. But when World of Warcraft launched,
I'm not
What-
the person to ask.
what was the hype like when WoW launched? Was it substantial? Because The other games were obviously good. They were a lot
Well,
of fun.
Okay, when WoW was coming out, were people saying that it was going to be the EverQuest 2 killer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been
Was it?
EverQuest 1 at that point, but yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? It did. It stole a lot of subscriptions.
It became fucking
It was
so.
but like even now, they're still like
I kind of forget how old WoW is already.
Yeah,
fucking old.
When did that come
Yeah.
out?
15 years, man.
Well, when
Or at
did
least-
Diablo
Yeah.
2 come out? Because
99.
no,
I
it was
think,
before
right?
that.
Was it? Oh, when were we when did I see somebody
99.
playing it in their basement?
Was it 99?
Nope. Sorry.
2000.
Damn it.
2000. What?
Yeah.
2000, really?
I thought it was like 90.
I must have watched somebody playing the beta then.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe. Diablo 1, 96.
Okay.
Best Diablo game that's ever come out.
Diablo 1? I disagree.
You are allowed to be wrong.
Thanks.
Yeah, but you never
WoW
played
was
Hellfire.
2004.
What's like
WoW
one
was
game?
when, sorry?
WoW was 2004.
2004. Okay, so, yeah. 14 years.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's intense.
It's
Yeah.
It's still going.
and you know what? Don't quote me on this because it is very likely that I'm wrong. But at least on the North American side, there's nothing that competes with it. Everything else that has come out since then, that's an MMO, goes free to play. Everything.
Really?
Because they
Or
can't get the
everything I'm
subscription.
How
Worse.
about Elder Scrolls Online? Because that fucking sucked.
I'm pretty sure Elder Scrolls is free to play
But they're still
to a
support.
certain point. But that's the thing. You're free to play, but you only get.
So didn't we have to pay
A quarter
14
of the
bucks a
game.
month for the?
Yeah, we chose to.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Star Wars, Star Wars, whatever the new Star Wars MMO was. I can't remember.
Battlefront 2.
No, it was an
No,
actual MMO,
no.
and it was good, but it went free to play.
This is recent.
You
5
know,
years,
you know
Oh.
what?
4 years.
Always like maintained a fan base was Lord of the Rings Online.
Hmm.
The
Oh,
MMO
really?
Yep.
Really?
from fucking that was around the WoW time, I think,
Yeah, that one I never played.
How about Warhammer?
and it's
2K?
still
Or
popular.
whatever, 20K. Is that still going? Like,
I mean, that probably has a dedicated following.
That doesn't have. That's not an MMO.
oh no.
There was a Warhammer Age of Reckoning MMO, and that was decent. But that eventually went free to play, and then the servers aren't even running now.
Oh really?
Yep.
It's over. That's it. The interesting thing about the digital age, like a lot of this stuff, when it's gone, there's no artifacts of it. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
know, it's crazy.
It's interesting
Like
because
there's so few games that are still like that were became popular at the beginning of this internet age with online gaming that are still supported, right?
yeah,
Like basically all of Blizzard's games are still supported. Like there's still servers running for Diablo 1, Diablo 2,
What's
War
StarCraft?
3.
Yeah,
War 3,
Oh,
StarCraft.
they're remastering
Serious?
War 3.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Are they actually? Because
Yeah.
it's been in the
Oh,
rumor
really?
mill for a while, but something about they didn't know how to do it, or they had to fix something. I heard. I don't know.
You know what's going to be fucking
would buy it in a
amazing at
heartbeat.
BlizzCon this fall?
Or
The
landing?
announcement of Diablo 4.
Is that coming?
That's what's going to be announced
Dude.
at BlizzCon this year.
PlayStation
Gross.
5's coming out
Ooh.
2020. Fat release date.
2020.
I always love how a console comes out and then immediately there's rumors of the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I know.
as if the company is even thinking. Like maybe they are in some sense, but I don't see it being like a, major focus when you just launch something and it might have problems or. But I love it. It's juicy.
So this is the Lord of the Rings online?
Yeah, and like it came out 3 years after WoW,
Yeah.
and it's still maintained a fucking massive fan base.
Well, fuck. I mean, they definitely developed a fan base with those movies.
I think it's I don't think they overcomplicated the game.
Yeah.
Like you know how WoW was like, fuck man, if you start playing that now, you're sucked in for a long
You
fucking
lose
time before you're
months
caught
of your
up.
life.
I started
Yeah.
playing like obviously when it first came out, Rob was really into it, and it was within those first few years that he got me to make an account, and like I played for maybe a month with him, and
That's about the
couldn't
same
do it.
I did too. Yeah.
couldn't do it.
And I would only play at LAN parties, like if we had a LAN party or
Yeah.
something. But then all my time is spent having people run me through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing for me though is I couldn't get over how much I disliked the art style.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
Okay. Interesting.
I couldn't do it.
That's the first person I've heard say that.
Yeah,
Not that I talked to, like I'm talking out there on the streets talking to everybody about.
I know.
Wow.
How,
You know?
Hey, remember WoW?
Yeah.
What did you think about the art?
How did
style?
you like the art style? Oh, that's interesting. What about it put you off, or was it just nothing specific? Just
If I had to boil it down to an unfair one-word answer, I would say it was too cartoony,
okay. Okay.
too bubbly, too many soft edges for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Did you like
Okay,
the
that's
movie?
interesting.
Hey,
Did you like the WoW movie?
never saw the WoW movie.
Or the Warcraft movie, sorry. Really?
No, never saw it.
I liked it. A little slow and stuff, but if they do another one, it's set
I'm
up.
sure
It's
they're-
set up
I'm
for
sure
more.
they're gonna do another one. Yeah.
I would like to hear Rob's thoughts on that too.
Speak of the devil.
What are your thoughts on the WoW movie? What did you think of it,
It was fun.
or Warcraft movie rather?
It was fun. It
Yeah.
was.
I'm sure we talked about it back then, but
Yeah, it was a fun movie. If you had any understanding of the kind of lore, then it made sense, and if you didn't, I'm sure it was a little confusing. And that was from the reviews and the critic reviews and stuff. It was like that the movie was kind of disjointed.
right. I enjoyed it myself.
Yeah, it was fun. Have you
I
seen?
mean, if you're gonna watch a CGI movie, it wasn't. Final Fantasy disappointed the shit out of me because I was
Mhm.
such a huge Final Fantasy fan.
the Advent Children or whatever the fuck
Oh
that
god,
was.
it was terrible.
Yeah. So disappointing.
It's fucking terrible.
Have you seen the cinematics for the new Battle of Azeroth stuff for WoW?
No.
It's fucking incredible.
Oh really?
Mhm.
The
Yeah, we should throw those up.
the Blizzard cinematic stuff is just
Those- I
unbelievably
mean,
good.
They have that's quite the company.
Oh
They-
yeah,
like really.
they are in no danger of going.
Say
out of
what you
business.
want about say what you want about what they've done over the years with certain things, but like, my God, they have done some real groundbreaking shit.
Yeah.
Watch this and think how good it would be for a 2-hour movie.
Mhm.
And this is just for the gameplay, or cinematics for the game, rather.
Imagine the game looked like this.
Yeah.
Be fucking
Yeah,
unreal.
it'd be
man.
ridiculous.
We've come a long way from Dragon Warrior 30 years ago.
I know.
That was the greatest game ever made, though.
Dragon Warrior?
Yeah.
It's a good game.
All 4 of them.
They're pretty good. I didn't know you played those.
Yeah.
We tried to play them, but
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
look at the texturing on that.
It's lagging a bit. I gotta reset that fucking box, but
you have some issues with it.
it's just the Apple box or the Apple
Oh,
TV
really?
box. Yeah.
I've been having a bunch of problems with mine too.
Yeah. If I reset it, it's fine.
Do you you might not, but do either of you guys follow that YouTube channel that makes fantasy weapons?
No.
Yeah.
What's the channel called?
I can't remember.
Well, you should find
Well,
out.
after this,
some
we'll
point.
do a couple of generic searches. I'm sure it'll be easy to find them. But yeah, they've made like a bunch of WoW weapons, and they look fucking awesome. And they're like, it's like a bunch of dudes who like own a blacksmith company, and they
That is badass.
just like make metal,
Super
metal as
badass.
fuck shit.
There's a place in Edmonton you can go to make like medieval weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
total old school way of doing it. Shit. Apparently,
That's
sit there
sweet.
fucking making, like just hammering your
On
fucking,
the forge.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
There's a guy I work with that went to it a couple weeks ago. He's like, I don't know, just became fascinated with that stuff, watching like YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, here's a serious question. Not super serious, obviously.
Super
I
serious.
Posit to you this question: so when we get to a point where we can put people into a video game world, which is probably coming
When
at
we have
some
full
point, I imagine.
virtual reality.
Yeah, when we have like VR, like Matrix style, you get inserted into whatever world that you want to be
I
in,
get
sort of thing.
penetrated in the back of my head.
Yeah, and people are just in
as
those
I'm laying down
columns, and
comfortably.
they're feeding people through the spinal taps, and
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How many, like, because overpopulation may be a serious contributor to a lot of problems that we have, or is coming anyway. How many people are we going to lose to the Matrix?
I mean, for sure, a percentage of the population. I mean, but like we already have that data. Look at how many people
true.
have basically evacuated their real life and only experience WoW.
Yeah.
Like, remember that game Second Life?
No. Is that that was a
Yeah, it was like another
thing?
online thing. It was like I guess a shitty way of describing it would be like The Sims online.
Okay.
Like you just basically like live
A different life.
but you could be like a guitar player or
Right. Something.
yeah.
Where you're more successful than
Yeah, exactly.
you are in your current life without putting in the effort.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, there's people that would just like wake up in the morning and get on to that game
No shit.
until they went to bed at night.
What do you do for work though? Like you have to support yourself somehow.
I mean, there's stories about people that have like gone bankrupt from playing too much WoW.
Yeah. Lots, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. But I just, like what I wonder about, you have that.
Yeah, like I think
Data.
I think to better answer your question, like once we get to that point where it is like fully immersive
You're gone.
and easily affordable to the average person, like yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of people.
It's just gone.
Yeah.
Just being a merchant.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
some medieval modeled village.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be like, I don't want to live in 2018 anymore. I'm just gonna be
A dinosaur.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a dinosaur in this dinosaur game.
Okay, what's
Be anything you want.
what's that game? I've heard him talk about it on the Rogan podcast or whatever, where it's just like super
Quake.
expansive, all the different worlds you can go to. It's
It's No Man's Sky, isn't
is
it?
that what? Yeah, it must
Yeah.
be. It must be.
Yeah, that sounds like No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Just a quick kind of turnaround here. So the statistics for 2015 to 2016 show that WoW has 5.5 million subscribers globally, and it's projected to drop to about 4.4 over the next 8 years. Their height at 2010 was 12 million subscribers.
Holy shit!
Wow.
How much a month?
So it's gone down a
It was
lot
like
since
10
then.
bucks.
That's
wasn't
a
it?
month.
Whoa.
It's $10
Oh,
a
how
month at
much?
the time.
Sorry. Yeah, about that.
Like $9.99.
So that's $1 billion a year
Fucking
market.
crazy.
Just that one
That's
game.
crazy. That's so crazy.
We're digging up the fucking earth out here, processing it through.
So this is a
Mhm.
recent video
Yeah.
of No
Isn't that
Man's
crazy?
Sky?
Yeah.
This looks
Yeah.
For a few
Good.
measly $1 billion.
But what they fixed basically was the whole multiplayer
Well, this
system, I
this
believe.
is like this looks completely different. It wasn't a
Yeah.
third person view originally.
It wasn't?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
it was first person.
It was
wasn't
first person
Yeah.
originally.
But yeah, like I guess like when you leave a planet now, you can like actually play with your friends and shit and
Oh, really?
bust out to other fucking galaxies basically, and
So
it's ever like populating now. So you go to like a new galaxy and it's all random. Like it's maybe you can't go visit those planets necessarily because they're made out of gas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all random.
Oh, shit.
So that was kind of the whole idea initially, but it didn't pan out that way when they launched.
God, there's some smart people out there, hey?
That's fucking cool.
The math and the programming of figuring out something. Like, I'm fascinated by it.
It was procedural generation.
But wait till
was
that's
the term.
VR.
Yeah.
Procedural
Or like
generation,
when you
yeah.
can download yourself into like these games eventually, I'm sure something like that's gonna happen.
Interesting.
Now you're a spaceman, fucking going at light speed.
Miles, you
galaxy
should
to
be
galaxy.
programming some of this stuff.
We should.
You should.
Why should I?
Because you're really fucking good at math.
That doesn't mean I know how to do programming.
Not right now, you don't. But you used to say, not
That's
with
not
that
how- that's
attitude.
not how that works.
That's a Miles line.
Okay.
Not with
Not
that
that
attitude.
Oh, that attitude. You're right. You got me. You know what game I would play virtual reality?
Hmm.
Doom.
Oh, Doom would be sick.
I would go to hell in a marine suit
On Mars.
with a BFG and murder demons.
BFG. Oh my god, that's the best.
Have you seen some of the gameplay for the new one, Doom
No.
Eternal?
No?
They were teasing the BFG 10,000,
Really?
and it's a giant, like 80-story tall cannon on a spaceship.
Didn't it used to be the BFG 3000?
I believe it was always the BFG 9000.
Oh, 9000. Okay,
Yeah.
so they haven't, like, there's only been one model change.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this VR Doom?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I have not seen this before.
You need this.
I need this in my life.
See, Honeymoon or Doom VR?
Yeah.
Do you have a room in your house you can dedicate to VR?
I'll build my I'll build an addition onto my house for this shit.
Take up the whole backyard
Yeah.
Be so
for the
sick.
holodeck.
Man, give this like
Apply
10
for a
more
variance
years.
with the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have any grass anymore.
Yeah, I want a holodeck.
Amazing.
You'll have to say holodeck
Dude.
because people won't know what you're talking about if you say VR.
I think 10 more
holodeck.
years.
I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 more years, VR is going to be fucking sick.
Yeah,
It's gonna be this gradual build though,
It is,
right?
yeah.
Because
Even in the last 3
obviously
years,
it's
though.
already here, and it's just only gonna get better
Yeah.
year after year.
I agree.
Imagine playing well. This is a good example, but also, any sort of a survival horror game
Oh yeah.
will be so fucking intense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna shit your pants.
Yeah, like legit.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
what was
Oh.
those? Were those games where you're in the mental hospital?
Outlast.
Outlast 1 and 2,
Fuck, there's another one that's coming out.
and those
I'll
are
show you
scary as
guys.
shit. From
Oh
just
fuck! You know what game would be fucking crazy VR? I don't think you guys played. I know I was talking to you about it. Hellblade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That game would be
Hellblade.
fucking terrifying.
I haven't seen any gameplay for it.
It's they recommend you play it with headphones because the character that you play in the game is a schizophrenic, and she hears voices.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
One-
it's scary as fuck.
One last circle back.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading an article. It's from April, so it's obvious, and I'm unsure how quality the numbers are, but it was about the top 5 MMOs. WoW had 7 million, so the next closest was Elder Scrolls at 3, and then Guild Wars at like 1.5, and
That was from what year?
this year,
Oh, this year. I see. Like WoW probably holds.
Final Fantasy, and then a game called Black Desert.
Like WoW probably holds like a record for most amount of subscriptions at any given time. Hey,
As far as I know,
because like
and as far as
how big was EverQuest
Big.
in its heyday?
I'd have to Google it, but big.
Yeah, like tens of millions.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Or EverQuest, that's a good one. Yeah. To
Oh yeah, any
Get some numbers for.
Cthulhu based game would be good.
It's just crazy
yeah.
how much.
Why would you put in 10?
I've tried to put it in 100.
Okay,
but
no,
it restricted me.
hold on. Cam was trying to look at a video, and it asked him how old he was, and he put in 10.
Fuck.
If you start with the 2, you can never go wrong.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I love
Oh, I
those
thought
websites,
maybe it was
though.
a video for minors.
Anytime I go to a website, it's just like, please enter your age first. I'm always born on January 1st because that's what it's defaulted at. And then I just like go to the year and just scroll it. I was born in the 20s.
1940. I'm a Vietnam War veteran.
I'm a 92-year-old gamer.
Evil Within too. Oh, that's probably good. Outlast, I got freaked out watching those just on the gameplay. Like,
Yeah.
I think I watched the Rad Brad or something like that.
It's too late, Cam. You've told them you're 10 years old. They're not
No.
going to show you nothing now.
Is it over? Like, you seriously can't watch it
Yeah,
now?
there's a fucking game though, like a horror game that was coming out, looked like super intense, but I can't find it. Oh well, next podcast I'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fuck, what else was I gonna say? So how about them Kardashians?
What are they up to?
I don't
lately?
know. Does anybody know? All right.
That's what I think about that.
All right.
We should probably order some donaires or something.
We should. Yeah, it's already 11:20.
All right.
Should order them right now.
Let's get it done.
EQ peaked around 500,000.
500,000.
See, you're the stats guy that we need for these shows.
Yeah, I just wish I didn't have to do it on the spot.
Yeah, well, you never know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's actually more fun that way.
Yeah, for sure. My phone's at like 1%.
I think if I had a decent laptop, I could easily
You bust it
have
out.
that here.
I don't know. I think this was pretty productive.
Yeah, this was
I
a good
thought it was
podcast.
All
We'll
right,
wrap it
well,
here.
It's probably one of the best ones, I think.
till next time.
Look at this car.
You know what we should start doing maybe? Like beginning of the podcast, be like, oh, it's another episode of fucking whatever,
Yeah.
episode whatever, and then introduce ourselves.
We should.
Like every other podcast does.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some formatting elements.
You know
we
what?
could
Let's
work on.
sign off
I
like
think so
that.
too.
Yeah, let's be real different.
Yeah.
Guess our voice for the whole podcast, and if you make it to the end, we'll tell you who we are.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad way to do it. 'cause you
Your
wanna give
move,
people that
listener.
are,
Your move.
No, nobody
Interested.
cares that much.
Do you want to end with the ESPN sports outro, or
You know what?
With
I'm
the
gonna,
Look at This Car
I'm gonna
remix.
remember, and I will prep myself better for that.
I thought it was pretty funny last time. Rob wasn't here.
Fake
No, that's true.
ESPN sign off.
Male or liberal Rob.
For all of us here at
Liberal
Fox Sports.
That's a little too right wing for me.
We'll just do Look at This Car remix.
For all of us at CNN Participation Awards.
Yep. We're handing out ribbons on August 15th.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shout
good
out to Ed
podcast.
Bassmaster.
Episode 5, I think, or
Yeah,
Five?
I put it as
005.
5. So
okay,
whatever.
perfect.
Boss Rootins.
Oh, body action system.
See, it would be funny if I could remember it, but
The body
was
action
gonna say-
system.
We should get
This
sponsored.
You're gonna get
podcast.
the body action system.
yeah. So if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you go out and get your
Body action system.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah.
All at MMA, etc.
Yep.
Less of a question.
And give us some more comments to reply to on YouTube.
Yeah, those are super
Talking
fun.
to you, Dan from Oregon.
We're drying out here. We need some shit to talk. Shit
I
to
like
talk
that
about.
people really identify with me to talk shit at me, so that
Yeah.
makes me happy.
Yeah, if
So-
someone out there could just pick out something that they hate about Rob again,
Yep.
that'd be great.
Look
Point
at
it
the
out
camera,
and
Rob.
attack it.
I need you.
Attack him.
Point it out and attack it relentlessly.
I want you to hate me.
Yeah. I am a magnet for your shit.
Perfect. Let's end it there.
a shagnet.
Bye.
Bye.
So bad, what y'all looking there? So